Hello everyone, this is Said. Welcome to another video about the European Champions League Fantasy. And this week is game day, match day number 5. I will be going over a quick overview about how we did last week and my plan if I don't go with the limitless, what is my plan for the 2 transfer or the 3 transfer window. And also I will provide the best wild card and the best limitless card. So for me, so far, I'm ranked almost 50K overall and 311 points, which is not that bad. My goal is to finish at least top 10. Last year I finished top 2K, but this year I think I have a bit of slow start. But probably my dream will grow the more we advance in the next round. But so far my target is like to at least complete the first round in top 10K. So how did they do in match day 4? In match day 4, I was doing really bad until Lewandowski decided to score 2 goals at the end of the game. And also there were other miraculous things happening, Salah, who just came from the bench to score 3 goals in 3 minutes, which never happened. Other than this 36 point, I would be probably really in big trouble. But I'm so happy about the 57 point. Although I had some really low blow, like Gomez, who get a red card, which is not going to play the next game. Meyer, who is not the goalkeeper in the Champions League for Borussia Dortmund anymore, plus Aden, who was already suspended for a red card. So that was a bit kind of really harsh, but I think I made it in game 4, which, with that being said, it could be worse. So I'm happy with the 71. I'm looking forward to the next match day. So for the next match day, since if you can check my previous video, since the beginning, my plan was to go with the limitless card this week. So most likely I'm gonna be with limitless cards unless there's some last minute changes. But if I don't go with limitless card, I have a couple issues to deal with. I have Sani, who is injured, hamstring injury, so it's really unlikely, very unlikely he plays even like the next game against Inter Milano. So Sani need to be removed from my team. I have Gomez, who had a red card, who is not playing, and I have Meyer, who is not the first choice for the Champions League for Dortmund. And in addition, they are playing against Manchester City, so meaning I have about 3 issues to deal with, and I will add another, I will say, issue is I don't have Mbappe, which has a very easy fixture. So let's say I have 4 plays that I need to deal with. So what are my planned transfers? So far, I'm going from Mbappe to replace Susek from Salzburg, which didn't have he didn't have his name in the score sheets in the beginning. So he's the one I'm going to be sacrificed, and I'm going to come with Mbappe. Also, I decided to keep Gomez. So Gomez will stay since he's not expensive, 4.1 million. But instead, I changed Sani with Kavar, hard to say this name, but Kvaratskhelia, which is the best player in Napoli. And Napoli is the best team so far with Manchester City. They won all their games with at least 4 goals in each games, or 3 goals in each game. So they score a lot of goals, and they are playing the weakest team in the group. in Rangers. So he's a very important player to have, and I would have even more player for Napoli if I had more transfer available. So this is my next change, and the next one I'm replacing Meyer for Borussia Dortmund with Kepa from Chelsea. Kepa does a lot of save, and also Chelsea get a lot improved in the defense since Potter take over. So with that being said, this is really my changes, and obviously Kepa, Mbappe, and again I'll try to pronounce Kvaratskhelia, which is Napoli players. Obviously here, although you see here is the captaincy for De Bruyne, but I'm planning to go with Mbappe. There's no doubt for me. Mbappe is the target. They're playing Maccabi Haifa, which is a very, I would say, very weak team. Although they have good result with Juventus, but they're really still defensively very vulnerable. So this is really if I go without the Limitless, but if I stick to my plan, which is the Limitless card, I am going targeting Paris Saint-Germain fixture. As I said, Maccabi Haifa, they already won when they played in Israel. They won 3-1. So I really, it's likely, I think, that's going to be a big scoring, and Mbappe probably will score a hat-trick. Also, Messi played a wonderful game against them when they played in Israel against Maccabi Haifa, and also he played a really nice game this weekend after his return from his injury. So he's really 100% ready. He played the whole game, and also scored a wonderful goal and provided, I think, at least 2 assists. Yeah, he provided 2 assists and he scored a wonderful goal. So he's really ready to have his name in the score sheet, and probably is a big candidate with Mbappe to finish king of the game. Also, I'm going with Hakimi. Usually Hakimi plays when the team need to play offensive team and also offensive game, and also when they play kind of relatively weaker team, Hakimi will play. I think he's going to be on the lineup. We will continue observing the news, but it's really likely Hakimi will in the lineup. And if Hakimi plays, he's always like there offensively, giving passes to Mbappe, or just like giving simple pass to Messi, who can create a difference after that. So Hakimi is has a lot of potential this week. Also, I'm going with Tottenham. Tottenham, obviously, lately they really good result. They lost to Manchester United. They lost home to Newcastle this weekend. But in the Champions League, I believe that Conte will play, how to say, a strong game. I think the team will show some reaction. They will show that they are a good team, and it's very important for them to make it really almost sure that they're going to go into the next round. They need this win. And Sporting Lisbon, they are not the same Sporting Lisbon that started at the first 2 games when they won 2 in a row, but since then they lost to weaker teams, like they lost to Marseille in both games. So from being 6 points in 2 games, now it's still 6 points after 4 games. So that's why I'm going with Kane, with Son, and with Perisic. We are like with no discussion the best player to target in Tottenham. In terms of the other players, I'm going for Bellingham as the best player fantasy-wise. One of the best players. He had his name in every single game, either scoring and assist. He's really a very, very good player. And here, although it's limitless, I don't have to go with all expensive player For me, I have to target the players that are most likely to score, and Bellingham is one of them. Kevin De Bruyne is also a very good option to have, and also if he plays, which I think I do, since he missed one game against Copenhagen, and I think now he's gonna be fine because that will ensure them to make it to the next tour. Although it's almost sure they're gonna go to the next tour, but on paper they still need to at least have like a draw against Dortmund. So given De Bruyne, one of the best players in the UCL in Champions League Fantasy and also the Premier League Fantasy. Again, to the player from Napoli, I'm so sorry, I'm not really able to provide it, but to provide the name, but his name is Varskja, and he's now on penalty for the last two games, and he's pound for pound the best player in Napoli. Napoli with Manchester City again are pound for pound the best team. Just to give an idea, they won 4-1 against Liverpool. They won 3-0 in Scotland against Rangers, and they won 6-1 in Amsterdam against Ajax, and then they won again 4-2. So they score a lot of goals and a lot of this point coming from this guy. As for the defense, Chilwell, as James is injured, so Chilwell will be kind of with Azpilicueta on the right side. Chilwell will be the one kind of I would say leading more of the offense from the defensive side, and he has been in a good form lately. And they are playing at the first game, so we wouldn't know the confirmed lineup. So once Chilwell is on the lineup, it's a very strong player or very good target. Joao Cancelo, the best defender in the Champions League Fantasy, especially, and the best defender in the Premier League. Like without any doubt, is one of the best defender in his position, and I would say he's a must in every single team. Courtois, he's back now. He played the game in the weekend, and I think he's gonna play also against Racing. Real Madrid made it the next tour, but still they're gonna play a solid game, so they're gonna try to get the clean sheet. And Courtois, even when he doesn't get the clean sheet, he always does a lot of saves, and that's always finished with at least 4 points. So I have Courtois and Onana. Inter Milano playing Victoria Bolzan, which are completely, they didn't have any point in 4 games. Inter Milano, they need to win this. If they do, they're gonna go to the next tour, the next round. So that's why I think Inter Milan, they're gonna play a strong game. They're gonna just make sure that they're gonna make the win, and they have a strong defense lately. Forget about 3-3 against Barcelona. They have a good defense, and they're gonna prove it this game. So Onana is for the second day, my goalkeeper. I have Salah, although his form is not really as it used to be, especially in the Premier League, but he showed that he's always capable of scoring. He showed the game against Rangers. He came off the bench, 3 minutes, he scored hat-trick in 3 minutes, which never happened in Champions League. And I believe against Ajax, they're gonna play the same way. Klopp is gonna put him in the same position as against Rangers, but especially against Manchester City, where he played very well and he scored the winning game. So I believe he's gonna play kind of and this fake striker, and with the way Ajax play and with the speed that Salah go, there's gonna be a lot of counter-attack, and he's gonna be able to make a lot of damage. It's also a very important game for Liverpool. They have to win to make sure they go to the next tour or the next round. And then they will have another game with Napoli that they will hope that they might make a good result so they can finish first in the group. But I think for this week, the most important thing, they want to make sure that they're gonna go to the next round. Son, as I already mentioned, Son and Dumfries. So Dumfries is like Dumfries is one of the most attacking defender is in Italy, but it's like especially with Inter Milan Champions League, he has his name in scholarship a couple times, and I predict that Inter Milano will keep a clean sheet against Victoria Balsa. So the first day I'm starting with Mbappe as the captain, and then the next day I either go with Kane, Son, or I can even go with the player of Napoli, Kvaratskhelia. So this is like my limitless. Let me know in the comment section if I am overlooking any player or if I am overestimating the potential performance of any specific player. Now, the best wildcard. As I said, I'm not going with the wildcard. I already used it, and I think most of the manager already used it. But I'm gonna quick a bit what I think is the best wildcard. So the best wildcard is a bit kind of some players same as what I pick for the limitless, but here there's some budget limitation, and also it depends really from manager to manager, depend how much money you have in the bank and what's the value of your team. But I would say Mbappe is a must. Kane is also a must for the next two games. He have a relatively easy games, and we know that he's going to be played because he didn't make it to the next round yet. Unlike other players, for example, like Haaland, which like I was saying, not 100, but I'm 80% sure he's not going to play the game 6 because there's no importance of that game. He might play against his team because like it's an emotional game and it's like he's going back home like or to his previous team, but I don't see him playing a lot of minutes. Same thing if we go with Messi, if we go with Lewandowski, for example, they're already out of the Champions League. So I think that we'll go with Mbappe, Kane, and Jude Bellingham, who is one of the best forward in the Champions League Fantasy this year. I think he's ranked number 5 in terms of number of points, and he almost scored, I think, in all the game except with the last one. Now, because it's the wild card, I'm mostly thinking of who are the players who's going to play both game 5 and 6, and I think Benfica will play both because they're not sure they're going to make it. They will have to wait until the last game unless they win against Juventus this week. So we have Florentino. He's a good at ball recovery. He can have an easy 4 to 5 point, and he's very cheap, 4.6. Salah, as I said, limitless. He's always a good player to have, especially that the next two games are important for Liverpool. Have Son, the same thing as Salah. Bellingham, I think he's gonna have his name in the score sheet even against Manchester City. And after this, he has a very easy game against Copenhagen, which is going to be also another opportunity for Borussia Dortmund, for Bellingham to score more goals. Napoli, Kvaratskhelia, he also playing next game, and I believe he's going to play this other game for Napoli. It's good to keep the rhythm and also show their skills. For Napoli, this probably going to go to the next round since already a few years they didn't do that. So I think they're going to keep playing, especially I would say that the calcio or the Italian league is not demanded to the point that you need to do rotation. So I think Napoli, for them, the Champions League games are very important. It's kind of they are interested to put all the best players in the lineup because that's when all the world are watching them, so it's very important for them to play the Champions League with the full squad. Same thing, as I said, for Son and Kane. Romero is good for ball recovery and potential clean sheet. Di Lorenzo, one of the best defender, like he's one of the top 5, I think, in terms of number of points. Ronaldo also, Atletico Madrid always have big potential to have clean sheet, and also Ronaldo is kind of play a lot of attacking role in the counter-attack Atletico Madrid way of playing. Guerrero, one of really the best defender this year in the Champions League Fantasy. He probably not going to have the clean sheet against Manchester City the first game, but he might have an assist. But especially the following games at Copenhagen, I think they're going to have the clean sheet, and he might even score or like have his name in the clean sheet as the first game they play against Copenhagen. Plus, like it's 4.7 or 0.8, I believe, so it's quite very friendly the budget. Zela, the best defender for the best team in the group, which is Brugge, and Brugge made it to the next round already, but I'm pretty sure they're going to play for the first place. That's number one, but also like Napoli, that's for them something that doesn't happen every year to play in the Champions League. So they're going to be a lot, like putting all their best player. They're going to play with the full team. And I think there's high potential to have the clean sheet against the next 2 games they have, which is Leverkusen and Porto. Brugge has, if I'm not mistaken, 3 games with a clean sheet, so they're very solid defensively. They have a good goalkeeper, Manuele. So, and 4.8 is very cheap, so it's really going to help with, keeping the money for like some prime forward and premium midfield. For the goalkeeper, I'm going with Kepa in the first day. Chelsea, they have relatively easy games. I think there's a big potential to have the clean sheet, and Kepa is in a super form. He's making a lot of save, and also Chelsea is doing great defensively under the new coach Potter. I'm gonna keep it down. Maybe the first game is not gonna be against Tottenham, but the following games will be relatively easy, and also it's just like the price also 4.6, 4.5, which is like a very budget friendly thing. But remember that Sporting Lisbon has 2 clean sheets, including 2-0 against Tottenham, so they are able to bring it back. And Adan was suspended, and now he's going back, so it's going to give a boost to the defensive. So I suspect that Sporting Lisbon will have at least 1 clean sheet in the next 2 games. If you have a little bit more money, you can go with Porto Costa, the goalkeeper of Porto. So this is kind of what kind of wild card I will go, but obviously it depends on every manager how much money you have. There are certain players that has to be there, like Kane, Mbappe, Son, Romero, Salah, Bellingham, Kvaratskhelia, Romero, Di Lorenzo. No, there are a lot of good players. Like kind of a, not a mass, but a really good to have there. But there is certain player you can play with a bit about the goalkeeper. You can play about the defense from Brugge versus defense Atletico Madrid. You can even Guerrero. You can play another player. So this is really my wild card. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this wild card. Am I overlooking any other player? Maybe I could do differently. So yeah, that was all. Thank you so much, and good luck in match day 5. Ciao.